So our next speaker here today is Tyson Strandlund, and he is with the Communist Party here in town. He's also an organizer for the youth activist, Communist Activist Party. I apologize, I don't have my notes to introduce people, but I'm winging it here. And but I'm really interested in hearing what Tyson has to say. So thank you very much for coming, Tyson. And let's give it up for Tyson Strandlund. Woo!
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm the communist that you were warned about. My name is Tyson, and I'm the organizer for the Young Communist League here in Victoria. And I'm a member of the Communist Party. And today I'd like to talk to you briefly about Monsanto, of course, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and capitalism. The first thing that I'd like to make very clear is that Monsanto is not just a bad apple, if you'll excuse the pun. Rather, they are the inevitable result of our socio-economic system, which is capitalism. In 1913, corn was 100% farmer-owned, and today it's at least 95% corporately owned and 90% GMO. This is indeed one of the many contradictions of capitalism, whose proponents claim that it promotes competition. The reality is that it creates powerful monopolies that crush their competition. In this case, we're talking mostly about small family farmers. These monopolies, moreover, use their vast economic power to influence legislation. As we speak, Justin Trudeau and the Liberal government is preparing to ratify the TPP. The TPP, if you haven't heard, is the latest free trade agreement, such as NAFTA or CETA, only it's much worse. For starters, the labeling of foods containing GMOs will not be allowed. Shame, indeed. And even countries like Australia or New Zealand or Japan that do have legislation that allows for the labeling of these GMOs will be impossible. This is a corporate constitution. It contains the provisions for corporations to sue the government of Canada for lost future profits, meaning any legislation put forward by local elected representatives, federally or provincially or otherwise, can subject us to fines and lawsuits if it has the potential to hinder these corporate profits. And that includes laws about environmental protection or supporting local farmers or any of these. The U.S. government is presently being sued under the provisions of NAFTA as a result of Obama's decision to reject the Keystone XL pipeline to the tune of $15 billion, which will be paid for by the taxpayer. This is the sort of future we can expect if the TPP is passed. The significance of this can hardly be underestimated. The fact of the matter is that democracy is being eroded from under our very feet. And increasingly we're seeing corporations, not elected governments, or certainly not Indigenous peoples, setting the terms. Additionally, under the TPP, thousands of jobs in manufacturing will be lost. The deal will favor the export of unprocessed raw materials, particularly from the forestry and mining sectors, instead of creating new jobs in value-added secondary industries. It would expand the import of U.S. milk and dairy products at the expense of Canadian market share of dairy producers. The deal will allow milk imports from cows injected with the synthetic growth hormone, BGH, which of course has been developed by Monsanto. BGH injected cows yield unnaturally large quantities of milk, but suffer from stress, health disorders, and premature death. It is grotesque and inhumane to the extent that distresses me more deeply than I can possibly tell you right now. The TPP is part of the U.S. pivot to Asia, a policy which is a key element in the drive by imperialist forces to control resources and access to cheap labor, to crush working class resistance, and to isolate potential economic rivals such as the BRICS countries. Capitalist globalization and profiteering sets the stage for an endless race to the bottom, if you will, in wages, working conditions, and living standards, and also for new imperialist wars. In 2013, the UN Commission on Trade and Development released a publication titled "Wake Up Now Before It's Too Late." This rosily named report included contributions from more than 60 experts around the world and stated in no ambiguous terms that the most effective way to feed the world is not with GMO monoculture or toxic chemicals, but with small-scale, local, organic agriculture. So why are we still doing this? The answer is money. The capitalist system holds profit above all else. And in such a society, it's only natural to expect that the worker, the product, and the environment will all suffer. We've created a society not that is most efficient, not that is most effective, but one that creates the most profit, and that profit is not for us. It's drained from our society. These corporations and mega-rich individuals are not enriching anyone but themselves. Fitting the dictionary definition of a parasite, in fact. That our food production has been left in the hands of these profiteers is a vital conflict of interest, just as it is to have them running our hospitals, our pharmaceutical industries, our universities, our banks, our insurance companies, and our energy sectors. Until democracy is expanded to the economic sphere, our political democracy will be a sham. Remember, everyone, as I'm sure there's many gardeners among you, a weed needs to be pulled up from the roots. We can't simply rip the leaves from the surface. And that's why now it's time to rip capitalism up from the roots. Thank you.